everyone. It's Angela again on this channel, Concordia Consularis, the spiritual and business agency of peace. Following on from the Jubilee series that I've been doing, as per normal, things interconnect in the most mysterious of ways, and sometimes they don't reveal themselves until time moves forward or experience moves forward. So in this, there has been a massive flow of energies here and resettling here. But what it has identified in these ancestral lineages in Britain is that there is a resistant core, and we're going to find how that taps into Africa today. So today we are not joined by Derek, but we shall call him in if need be. I'm just going to, but Harrison is here with us. And let us, where are you, Harrison? There you go, hello.
Hey, how are you? It's amazing and I'm glad to be here. Doing this series, it's always fun and it brings joy to my heart when I know you're doing something positive for our planet.
Yeah. And yeah, this is the design of Concordia spiritual activation, is to get people connected to their inner capabilities and provide a focus for or some sort of support for that journey of what they incarnated here to do. So also this, with our Africa series, we've been holding a series of spiritual courts of equity. And a spiritual court of equity is a multi-dimensional, multiversal, all-encompassing through all of our super intelligent experience of being that within us. And that is an ancient method of resolution where everybody's voices could be heard and the real spiritual truths begin to unfold. And in these episodes, we've been looking at Africa, and it all ties into a bigger picture of planetary clearing as well. So we work with these levels in order to achieve a lighter humanity, one that makes better decisions. So today, as we open the spiritual courts of equity for this process of observing the 25%, 27% of beings who have DNA that is not functioning at a humane level. And it might just be that it's a little bit complex this week, but there is a bigger picture to this level of clearing and healing that will take place today. So as we open here with all ancestors of this universe's, multiverses, densities and arrangements, you're okay, Harrison?
Yes, yes, I'm okay. I was paying attention to my throat chakra, so I don't know if it's an activation that's happening.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking.
Your voice will be heard. Your voice is getting ready to observe and feedback. Yeah. It is a multi-level spiritual court of equity, and actually it's going on in different densities at the moment. And so we, in this spiritual court of equity, we're looking to address those who do not have a soul. There's any being out there that has been hijacked, and we're going to include into the African leaders here who don't make good decisions for their people. And this stems through to Britain, France. We're going to look at the French input here. And I'm talking about different groups of nations that have in the recent story of Earth have been involved in mass disruption and lineage warring that has created a sense of anger, aggression in humanity. And this is going to have quite an interesting trickery element to it, no doubt. So could you tell me what you're seeing, Harrison?
Yeah, the beginning stages where everybody is settling around, so it's a bit of rush as people are coming and settling around this area. So well, I don't know if they look like shadows figure. I don't know what they are representing.
Yeah,
As
they're
they
the
are coming.
soulless beings. And not everyone has a soul or is connected to their soul. And just
Yeah.
living on spiritual essence, that tiny part. So, in order for us to progress and evolve into a more peaceful way of being, let's just have a little look at how this happened. Let's look at specifically those shadow souls, those that have been hijacked or had the soul taken out of them, not by their own free will. Let's look at that first. What are your feelings? How does it feel when you focus in on that part of the spiritual court of equity?
It's like being taken like through a portal, and it's like there were these beings. They are different kind, but the dominant ones are of the reptilian kind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's a war for domination that they were doing at that time. And for them to, or from the where they are, because they're existing at the same time, everything is happening in the now. And for them to exert this control, it's like they have their own kind of version of magic they do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of deep. I don't have words to express in that, but they're able to target an individual soul, and it's like they replace or they lock that soul that's in there. It doesn't do anything, and they put their dominant version through something that is of voice or that is exerting power at that time. So people don't know who is who when that being is expressing itself.
Yes, and it's like who is who, but also who am I? When people don't know, they've been so disconnected from their natural heritages over time through the use of slavery and suppression, you forget who you are, you know. And that is one of the downsides of seeing the enormity of this kind of action when it's affecting people's lives, their life, their source, their existence, their soul path. So it is a very harrowing picture, but there are also other time links here that are alchemical, that are affecting the way that the European continent connects with the African continent part of Earth. So just read, I'm just going to present the data, and that's just showing how what maps have been that represent a picture of this alchemical connection. And then bringing in the tricksters.
Yeah, what I'm perceiving is that the moment you said that are being taken to this time period when they were kind of deciding on the colonization of Africa. So it's like this period when they were doing these subdivisions, and for them to really understand what Africa entailed and what it stood for, it's like they sent these anthropologists in the name of explorers, but they were really anthropologists documenting what was really happening on the continent. And they capitalized on the ignorance of some of the leaders at that time in Africa who it's like because of their goodness of their heart, where they would welcome a guest into their own neighborhood or their own place and show them around. These anthropologists returned that by being very brutal, by documenting what was happening and taking a bad report back to Europe. But these guys never knew what was happening. They thought they were working for the betterment of themselves, but they didn't, or they don't understand they were working for a bigger purpose that was gonna come and be implemented across that land. And there's the same thing that it comes through different versions and angles, and it's something that keeps on playing like on a loop, you know.
Yeah. And so just from a different perspective here, we're just going to look at the past life entanglement aspect of this. So I'm just bringing up all the story in Datafall.
Yeah.
What does it say?
I'm reading like one of the major and main pillars that they used. The main pillar was religion.
Yep.
And from that, they were able to branch it to education and creating the government and what we have now.
Yeah.
And even though they have tried to dilute what religion stood for at that time, but you know, it's like where they are creating something by showing you it doesn't exist or it's not exerting that power, but in reality, it's still of the same force as it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like a huge multitude is rising up in Africa. I can see like they're very large. Oh, it's our ancestors coming up and nodding with me and saying, yeah, they used that hang on us and bad for us because we accepted what they told us. But they're also showing me they didn't accept it through free will. They used domination and control to make sure that it is stuck where.
Yeah. So who is the originator of the hijack technology where they would soul hijack leaders of nations?
This is going back, one of the oldest places that few people would even believe it's happening. And, the biggest church that we have, and the Pope himself. But at this time, he is the contract holder of what happened during that period, and he's aware of what happened. So he was the first guy to be, it's like he was taken over. People thought they put a good guy in there, but technically
It's just a
Was it?
body.
Yeah, it's just a body that's in there, is not, even if he is in the body, is not the dominant aspect.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So let's have a look at where that dominant aspect is. And we're just going to securely get that into a spiritual court of equity. I'm being threatened here. Yo, don't do that. Don't do that. So, this is the energetic that I can accurately describe as being one that takes over people, the skin suit, it takes over the technology and anchors it in itself into your own creation of expression. And this has been done to basically breed in to those lines. So this is what it's like, mass eugenics really of a different kind. So that takes us into the areas of historic experimentation, different times of the story of Earth, the Inquisitions, where this suppression of natural form has taken control. And it's the same old. And we're seeing that now even more so with the ways of thinking that are emerging. And this is supposed to be a time of peace. So I would say here, let's just call in that originator. Or plural, z. And your observations, please. What do you see? What do you sense? At a cosmic level.
Yeah, it's like the real originator is trying to hide the face and transfer the blame to another person so that he is not targeted. It's like what I'm getting, it's like they normally do this to avoid any repercussion that's coming from the karmic, entanglement that's happening. So to make sure that the oversoul is okay and they can continue in their growth process. So, yeah.
It's like soul hijacking.
Yeah, and what I'm getting, it's like it's going up to the level of these 15 multidimensional beings that they are playing a major part in that control and making sure that they are putting the system into place to make sure that this hijacking is taking place.
Yeah. Now, what you're going to find here is that they're going to need a certain sustenance, and that is affecting the food chain supply, or not affecting the food chain supply as most will think it to be. But actually, they need other food to survive. Hence the creation of all these milks and proteins and various substances that are supposed to be able to nurture and create positive well-being in the physical body, but it doesn't. So we're going into the whole areas here of what these effects will be from this mass takeover, because it's a takeover bid. So I'm just going to throw another question into the spiritual court of equity about those that were hijacked. That was never their original intent. They did not agree to it, or they were put under duress by domination and control. And we're going to see this expand out quite widely throughout this whole universe.
Yeah, what I'm getting is that these guys who participated in where their body was used to exert control and domination, it's like they're having so much shame
Yeah.
among themselves, and they don't want to even tell the people what's happening. So it's like,
Yeah, there is great shame.
yeah, it's like they want to help, but the shame is too great. I'm feeling like they don't have that courage to come
Yeah.
forward and
Yeah. Look, we can help with that at a spiritual level. And that this is the resolution that they've been seeking, but no one's been able to hear them.
yeah.
So in these moments of souls forgiving themselves for being affected by inhumane responses to the takeover here. And what do you observe in Africa at the moment? As you look at it as an overview?
A huge chunk of them are operating in the shadows here in Africa, and it's like what we think we are seeing within our own eyes, that's just the illusion that they are placing in front of us.
Yeah.
And they were so good in their game to the point where they made sure even some of the karma would go to them, but not to the extent that you would be expecting that they would be having. So that's what made them to keep on doing this game. And looks like the spirit of Mama Africa is coming in with the entire ancestors, and it's like doesn't matter who they are or where they are, all the records are being brought, and doesn't matter which video you're gonna use, you're gonna see straight through it. And if there's any repercussions, you're gonna carry your own cross, you know. they are tired of, all these things that are being done here.
Yeah, and the lost ones, the lost ones in the shadows, we're just coming to illuminate them all and repatriate.
Yeah, I can see they are being given a choice to make, and they have to make it from the soul perspective level of what they are gonna do. And though at that level it seems to be unconditional, I feel it's like they are being told they must allow the people to go free, and they must take those first steps to bringing the truth to the people. And a huge chunk of them don't want
They don't.
to be on the forefront of bringing that truth. It's like they don't
Yeah.
want the blowback of what's gonna come with that.
They don't. So I'm going to widen this out because it's kind of out of their hands, really. That, I just want them to see and experience what the majority of the universe is doing. So here, I'm just going to invite the inner earth ancestors of all cultures into the spiritual court of equity, all those living and dead, all those from the councils of light, all those from the councils of dark. And Concordia Consularis will be neutral, independent observer. And I just want to bring this into the spiritual court of equity, those impacts and inputs, because this is not a fair practice that is taking place repeatedly through lineages and over again. And it was forced. So I'm asking them to remove it and bring the decision, unilateral decision between all of them, all of us, all our relations, that we make this decision for the highest good of all beings, that they may have a chance to exist in peace. I'm just transmitting that out there.
It's quite, there's a section, I don't know if it's from the inner earth. They don't want this to go on because, you know, they're saying this is their game, and
okay, let's bring them forward. So I'm explaining to them that it's not their overall decision. They could make it as easy for themselves, and it will support their evolutionary processes in remembrance, in consciousness, as something greater and more evolved than what was before. It's called progression of your own kinds. If you have seeded that soulless technology, then you are not operating from an even playing field. And who even cares about right or wrong? Just do the right thing by everybody else that you have to co-create and coexist with in the fifth world of peace. It's that simple.
What I'm getting is that they already know this information, and they are saying, there's no point of doing all this hard work. It's like they're trying to offer us some kind of a deal. I don't know what's with them with all these deals.
Look, maybe there's a technological chance that they could be helped, but that comes at a price that humanity is not going to pay. And that the deal for them should be the one that helps them to preserve their own survival, but this is not doing that. It's going to meet resistant opposition from other factions, and it's just going to be a continual slog. How long can they sustain that for physically in those that are embodied here on Earth now?
They are saying that you are a very, very intelligent negotiator, and it's like they are really, really puzzled with the way you are bringing these negotiations to them, and what next?
I just want them to be aware fully of potentials. And there's something that even they themselves in those specific groups have been lied to. We know that. There's been battling behind the scenes in the magical areas, in the magical realms, in the contract spell and the great illusion that we are experiencing out of our separation. You're only operating at the fraction of a wide number of human beings here, not human so much, but spiritual beings that are here in technological skin suits. And quite easily, it's only a matter of time before that all changes again for them, and they're not going to be able to handle that. So in peace offers them a greater opportunity for their own expansion and growth. If their DNA can't make it, then then maybe we need to just relearn a few things and make some different decisions and outcomes that will be not only for Earth. And I'm asking them to remember her in all this. Deep within her, she has the memory of this warring and this overtaking of the human spirit. They're essentially taking her spirit, her soul, her experience, and turning it into something not very nice, and inverted everything that was good. So I offer that to them as well. Like, come on.
Yeah, they're saying you're a very convincing negotiator, and what they're bringing to me, it's like showing me different versions of Earth, where they're saying, at some point she's gonna split, and they are very aware of that, and of the higher dimensional Earth that's going on, and the other lower dimensional. But the point that they are sticking with is that, we are from the inner Earth, we are not on top experiencing all that, you know.
You will be one day, though.
No,
Your mind is so deep into the etheric core of this planet by letting this happen. There'll be etherically smashed with some high grade technology that they've got no clue about. What are you going to do?
Yeah, what they were saying is that, yeah, down here, you guys are up there, you do whatever we tell you to do.
No.
It's like
It doesn't work like that these days, love. To them, it doesn't.
So we are where they are, the shifting, we are where you guys, you're gonna go to the higher level, but we are from the inner Earth. We can hop in and out of this dimension the way we want, like, going to the other Earth and here. It's like they have that ability.
So when did they lose their humaneness for all life? When did they lose that?
I don't know. It's like I'm getting, like, there's a massacre that happened.
What
And it's
massacre?
like, I don't know. I don't know if it's Ayani massacre, but I'm getting it was around 22,000 Earth fraud time. 22,000 years ago, around that period. And
what were their impacts? Why did it happen? What do they say? Tell us their story.
they say good people were compromised. They were good.
Exactly.
They were working for Earth, but they were betrayed because of their goodness. People gave access code to portals that they were not supposed to do. And through that, they got smashed.
Exactly.
To the point where they had to shift to that level that they are in now to at least be able to survive at the level they're existing now. And this is why they are holding their stance at that level.
Look, I'm just relating to them. Look, I really get how they feel. I really get it. And that story is woven into the consciousness of all beings. We all remember that and have different living manifestations of it today. Now, what I'm asking them is like, do we stay in that, or do we let go of all of these impacts from the 4 previous epochs of existence? It's the only way in order to feel that lighter, more peaceful element within ourselves. And that can be applicable to every group that ever existed. We're not saying like, no, you may not proceed or whatever because you're in a substandard condition. We all have shared that experience. So we need to move on from that, surely. That seems like, the most healthy thing that can be done. And I know that they're all considering that, every single one of them, because they remember what it was like before all this drama was starting to be created. Take it back. Remember your infinite worth, value, who you are, what your capabilities are. Just remember it. You don't have to continue on in that way. So here I would like to address the councils of light. And just read for me what took place. What are they saying?
The moment you have said cancels of flight and they say here she goes again, you know,
I just
it's
want to show
like,
them a picture.
yeah, they're asking, what about us? What happened? What will happen to those guys who did this to us?
Exactly. So this is what I'm getting at. So I'm looking at the councils of light. I'm looking at the councils of dark. If you can just assess what you see to me in the duality construct.
Yeah, saying, okay, but they're having a hard time forgiving, like the truest form of forgiving with no attachments,
Yeah.
just letting it go.
Yeah. And what's stopping them from getting there? What blockage, what trauma blockage is present there?
And getting the fear, if they let this go, they are fearing the same thing will happen again, and they are more even worried because it's like some of these portals or pathways are gonna open soon. So, and they are worrying that people are gonna have access to the level where they are at, and the average that they are playing among the people, it's not going to exist any longer. So they have this constant fear around them that if these portals get opened, you're gonna be massacred the way they did during those times.
Yeah. So here we have other influences to Africa, the Chinese influences. The Chinese influences are fighting that light. They're literally in battle with it. And that affects all the investments and the outcomes in China, but also in Africa. And there are other Asian groups there that are coming into the fore. Those I'm just trying to demonstrate here that we can achieve peace by working at these levels with these various groups and factions who are responsible for the demise of all races here on the planet. So into this, added into every spiritual court of equity, is a space where the souls can be healed and healed of these traumas and impacts of the ages. Now, those that were carrying great shame about being hijacked or tormented by these beings, how are they looking? How do they feel to you? Do they feel better and lighter on a spiritual level?
I'm being shown this golden globe. It's like the essence of Mother Earth has joined us, and it's pointing them to go to this place. I don't know if it's within her heart, where it's the purest form of love that's there and healing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's offering them this opportunity to go there and be healed to the deepest level that they want to go to, and just all those imprints being removed from them. She's offering that.
It's just beginning to happen. It's a sacred process that is so beautiful. Just observe it and to see, tell the story.
Some of them are going, but still there's a huge chunk of them, sitting around. They just want to make sure that those guys who go fast, they want to see the end result so that they can make their decisions.
Yeah.
And the first group, it's like, from here I can see it's like a globe, but when they go inside, it looks like a lake where they are going inside. It's like diving inside something, and it's encompassing every single aspect of yourself. And what I'm seeing, it's like, I would say it's like a deep, deep soul surgery that's happening, where the imprints are being pulled.
Exactly.
And it's like this extended form of pure love flowing at the deepest level that you can ever imagine, of connecting every single aspect of molecule that's there, attaching it together and squeezing any kind of sense of fear that's out to be, it's being pushed out. And when they are coming out, they are shining even brighter than the sun itself. It's like you can't, with the human eyes, you can't just stare at them, because you're gonna burn your eyes because of the way they are shining
Brilliant.
so brightly.
That's beautiful. Pure brilliance.
Yeah, so the other guys are seeing and saying, that looks nice. I think I like that. So it's like there's acceptance, and all of them are going through to the same experience.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and also what's happening, it's like Mother Earth is assuring them that these portals, whenever they are gonna open, it's only people of the highest form of vibrations that are gonna go through them, who emit this vibration of peace and love. If it's anything contrary to that, they're gonna be shut out. They're not gonna have access to that. He is giving that assurance to them.
Okay, so that's just beautiful again, to observe these things and witness them. So let's just have a look at the Council of Dark. How are they?
Well, they are just laughing, enjoying this moment and saying, wow, we got something to fight. Now you have you have something to fight. And Mother Earth is coming in and saying, no, you don't have to fight. You can coexist in the same space with the creation that you have without fighting.
Or
But
doing
if
harm?
this is what she's saying, but if you see that's not what you want to have or emit within yourselves, Earth is not gonna allow or tolerate that experience here. So it's a choice. It's either you accept or you'll be kicked off. So yeah, that's what is being presented. And what's coming is the neutral perspective, where it's like two can coexist without fighting each other.
Exactly. And so I'm just requesting an upshift for all that are connected to this in any way, shape, or form.
What I'm seeing, I don't know if it's from inner earth, and it's like huge caverns with these large pillars, and there's light. But those pillars, they're not just pillars. when they go up on the ground, there's a living soul that is a kind of a representation of that pillar here, and those people are the guys who are controlling. They're in some kind of a level of management, at the management level. So even if they're not being seen on the screens, they have some level of control that they are doing. So that's being realigned to make sure whatever soul that inhabits at that level, I don't know, there's a council that's coming here and it's saying if they are not willing to let go of that control and continue playing that level, there's this working rule that Source has introduced here. You know, they are gonna be kicked off the game. So
Do these have control of certain stones here on the planet?
Sorry, who has certain control?
Of stones that affect
the dark or the light?
Yeah, either or.
Oh. What I'm seeing, it's like the dark has it's like a majority of the shareholding of these guys.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah.
But something is happening at a very, very high level that they are not even seeing it, where
yeah,
what's being watched is the decision that they are gonna make. And it's like I'm seeing they are very, very powerful soul in standby, that if they make certain choices and decisions, they are gonna be kicked off the planet and these souls are gonna take their place. You know, wow.
There's an audit going on.
Yeah.
Complete audit of their system and organizations. As for the light, that's what's occurring.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a very strong level, and it's up to the highest form of level that's happening. So there's no way they can stop this.
Nope.
And some levels of the awareness, they know this is happening, but those who have fallen so low, their lowest level, it doesn't know what's happening. So
it will filter through.
Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna I'm being taken to Middle Eastern parts because it's like something, it's a cord that's stretching from Africa into that level. And
Correct.
what I'm getting, it's like a modern level of slavery, though they have this wing they called wages, but it's slavery that's happening because the cries that's going on in there from the African souls that have moved from Africa to that land.
Yeah.
The ancestors have already are receiving those cries, and they are ready to act.
Mm-hmm. So we have a port at Yemen. Yemen is connected to this strongly.
Yeah, that's why they have a huge war happening around that area, because I can get that imprint. And
so it's a transport location.
yeah. And I don't know if they're taking Africans, because what the report that comes to us at the level, what you'd call the general level, what people would read on newspapers and watch on news, it's like their kids, they have died when they go to these places.
Yeah.
But at the deeper level, it's like they are trading soul codes out. Yeah, because there's a huge agenda that's being connected. I don't know, with Africa, there's a level and there's a kind of a soul group that's in Africa that's very strong, and they are not able to penetrate to that level of this soul group. So it's like an investigation they are doing. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, so that investigation is basically, I mean, it's just trafficking. Now, the question I'm going to ask is, where are those souls being taken?
The first thing that came was Nibiru, but I'm telling them that planet was moved out of phase with our planet.
Yeah. Is it another dimensional parallel reality phase?
I'm getting Phantom Matrix.
Phantom Matrix. Now, Phantom Matrix was taken down in March.
This year. Or last year. This year.
This year.
Oh. Wow, that's lovely.
So are there any backup?
I don't know.
Gosh, look, there are backups here of all sorts of projections. So, but my concern is as well, primarily, is the souls. Where have they been taken? So what we want to do is just identify those souls, which sector they've been transported to.
I don't know. It's like they were bouncing them off different levels to avoid detection.
Yeah.
So I think they might have passed through the Phantom Matrix. I don't know if it's a backup or
All the
what I can read
from it.
I don't know. I'm being told that they are back in this universe that we are right now, but it's not a system I would have linguistic to mention what it is. But what I'm getting is that they want to introduce this thing that they have on Earth. They have to make sure this game continues. But
yeah, got it.
Yeah. So the elders of Africa are making it crystal categorically clear they must be returned. So I don't know what's that level. What are you picking?
I'm picking, I am sort of, there's multi levels of operation going on here. So what we're looking at is where they've all been stored for future use, past use, well, whatever the use might be. We're looking for the child souls, and we're looking for all those that have been taken through that portal matrix. So we're just in the process of getting them all back and repatriated and helped in some way, shape or form. It's like a multi-dimensional triage center for souls.
Yeah, and also I'm also getting the Saturn Council. I think there's a council around that planet. They want to get involved in retrieving of these souls. So I don't know if
Why
they
do
are
they
from
want
the
to
light.
do? Why do they? Let's just check who they are. What are their credentials for that? Who are they?
I don't know. I just saw a flash of a big ship, like in a shape of a planet, you know, standing, I think, next to Saturn, and they have invested massively in making sure this game is unraveled.
Hmm. And what have they
So
invested massively in this project?
I think they are sending their own soul group in like an undercover mission. Like they are amassing in the where they are sending. It's like they're using technology to project a soul to be born
Right, so
on.
they were interfering then.
Uh,
I'm going to say to them, look, deal's off. Just trying to get this stuff back. Yeah, so we're just going to, we have records of that technology. That's going to be, yeah, they, you know, they were a main proponent of this. But, you know, on a higher level, these evolved beings, what good do you think you are doing to others? How are you affecting others? And I know that they don't appreciate that. They just don't even understand or compute it because it's fodder to those individuals.
what I'm getting is it's like they think they can use others for their own advancement to grow. I don't know if they think it's spiritually or technologically to become superior beings. So, and they're very tough in their determination because they're gonna do whatever they are gonna do to achieve this. But I'm getting it's like they are getting a huge resistance,
Mm.
and some of them just try to blast my my right ear. I don't know what signal they were trying to transmit. So
Yeah, they're trying to sort of barge into my reality. So I'm just saying, look, it doesn't work like that. So basically, that's it's just over. There is no say. You've lost your goods. They've been seized. Yeah, these are quite ones, you know, guys that like really like to mess around with the atoms, the light atoms.
yeah, and they were trying to blow off my right ear with this kind of sharp ringing, but I was able to detect it and say, no,
No, that
not
will not
yet.
be activated by your signal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So what are the ancestors from inner Earth saying? What are
I'm
they? They're seeing what we, because we're seeing this resolution in real time. I just want to know what their thoughts are.
I'm seeing, what I was seeing is these really old men. It's like they're bent over with walking sticks and they hold much knowledge, and it's like they have these ancient books, but it's not like books they are holding. It's like this knowledge they possess within themselves.
Yeah.
So they're saying they have waited for this time for a very long time, when someone on the surface would begin this process, because yes, they can do very much down there, but if they don't have that anchoring soul on the land, it's difficult to get through to what's happening. So
Exactly.
they are here in support of what we are doing. And they are showing me the same stake I'm holding is the same stake they have. It's like I'm an aspect of them here. I don't know. It's quite strange to understand that what they are trying to.
Yeah. You're an aspect of that. As coming into your own awareness. And and this is why I make Concordia Consularis known on all density levels, is because we are able to resolve these sorts of issues.
Yeah. Let me just plug in my laptop. Yeah.
You do peaks very well. If you would like to book a session with me, you can do so via the link below. Subscribe. We're doing, resolution is ever changing. And this is the type of thing that when we go to these levels, we can achieve so much. And so I'm just going to go for an overall percentage of completion here today for this spiritual court of equity. I'm getting around 71%.
Yeah, that's amazing. And these elders are telling me what you did with the Jubilee resolution on what the Queen did by lighting that tree of life. Like it caused a huge, massive ripple effect. And so many souls were relieved of the technology that was being imposed on them.
It was just the beginning. So what I'm just ensuring is that it is in its original format.
It's like I'm being taken into what I would say the center of the earth, and I'm being shown the true natural tree of life. And it's a very, very huge tree with very good vegetation around it. And there's, if I could say, there's this golden color, lighting every single thing around it. And these little sparkles that are golden going out from this area and moving up onto the ground and making sure that every single spark, I don't know if it's representing every single soul on the surface, and it's representing the freedom they are going to experience, because that highway has been cleared. And because it was like there was a blockage between that natural tree of life with the people on the surface, and it's like it's a clear highway, there's no cloggage.
That's beautiful. Take note of that experience and memory. So we have a completion level of 96%, and it's increasing. do you notice any inner changes happening to you as a result?
It's like from my DNA memory that what I was feeling, it's like there was so much cries, or that memory that have been picked up. But the moment they are pulling off some of these imprints and all these things that had been done, it's like lifting a huge weight on someone who is lying on the ground and giving that person the freedom to rise up again. So this is what I'm feeling, and there's this extensive peace coming down. And
Brilliant.
yes.
So the races, the duality councils are in audit, and that is undergoing a deeper sense of interplay here that has kept conscious souls from fully embodying the physical technology that they came here learning through to resolve through. And this is, I can just feel it just defragging out of consciousness bit by bit by bit. It is like a ripple effect. So we're seeing this being, waved out, and it's trickling. So it is going to get stronger. There are some that will experience deeper levels of removal. It is all related to the earth cycles of time and her experience. And we're just approaching the solstice. So this is key and timely so that we can achieve peace here on the planet, on every dimension and every level of density, but in our own central existence within us. And maybe we can start achieving more peace, and basically we're going to deconstruct everything else. So that's part of this new era of peace. And it really teaches us to be mindful of where we're placing our external energy. Because if we're feeding them with our light, it helps them to grow, and we could use that energy for ourselves to help our existence to shift and change. So it's really turning it back in at these times to heal the self, heal the experience. So I'm just getting that those levels are increasing. So I'll just take this moment to say, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do so. There'll be a link below on how you can contact me. I am here in the UK for a while. Please do contact me if you're interested in psychic development workshop on a local level, or if you want to engage with your gift and skill that you incarnated here with and get it integrated into a full working practice. This is the purpose of Concordia Spiritual Activation, is so that we can get you tuned up to the great, enormous being that you are, and really start or continue or expand and evolve what you're doing already. If you're a practitioner or a healer, or somebody that just wants to go to the next level of what they're meant to be doing here. And we all know it sometimes on the inner levels, what we're meant to be doing, but we've got no way of allowing it to take place. And there are certain things we can do to fast track that experience. And there'll be other things. Do stay noted. I'll be doing other recordings and clearings while I'm here in the UK, because it has been an absolute ancestral mess. And when you come back into it and feel it and see it and work with it, you know that there's a lot of resolution that needs to take place still on the planet today, and that we create our own messes and go along with it in acquiescence. And if you don't want to live like this, then figure out a way how you can disentangle yourself from it, because it's way beneath you. Okay, so I'm just checking everything's resolving, impacts are clearing. How does it all look to you, Harrison?
As you are talking, as you are doing the final bit, I saw like a waterfall and a dove, a white dove flying above this waterfall. I don't know at this level what the dove represents, but from our culture, we say it represents peace, and if this is what it means. So
yeah, peace and cleansing is occurring at the highest spiritual levels, and this will affect the experience of every human incarnated into a skin suit on the planet today.
yeah.
I'm very happy with that. Oh my goodness, makes me love my work even more.
Yeah, it looks like the ancestors of Africa are clapping their hands, and they are enjoying, they are singing, they are saying, yes, we love you guys and your work. It's like they already know who we are, and they really appreciate, and they are really thankful for what we are doing.
Okay, when I ever arrive back there, they'll have to send me an elephant and a lion. Come and collect me.
Saying they are gonna do that. Just make sure you are in alignment. Maybe the elephant might want to carry you on the back.
Yeah, I'm up for that. Let's go, animal. Just don't kill me.
Yeah, yeah. That would
Brilliant.
be lovely. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Do tune in again next week for another exciting outing of something fully presented by the universe. So thank you very much, and we will see you very soon.
Yeah, see you very soon.